were so close. I was so close that time.
Jenny, Winny, and the Average Dude, and we made it to another week of Jenny, Winny, and the Average Dude. What's up, Jenny, Winny?
Not much, Dan the Man. See, you are the average dude, but see, what people don't know is ever since I can remember, I've called you Dan the Man.
I know, but that is totally opposite of what we're going for here.
Okay, Dan the Man with a plan.
Dan the Man with the plan. It does have a nice little rhyming to it, but no, it's the Average Dude. And I need you to start getting used to that because it may very well go on my gravestone at this point, Jenny. I mean, the Average Dude just fits.
Daniel Allison. He is just average.
No, the Average Dude, you know?
The Average Dude. Yeah, well, let me tell you about what happened to me.
All right.
So, we're installing a pool, like an in-ground pool in ourselves.
Up in Shelby, North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. That is correct. So anyway, they ship us all these big steel walls and everything. So we had to meet the guy and put it on a trailer to get it down into where we live. Okay.
Okay.
So we meet. I'm good. I'm like, normally if I'm out walking in the yard, I put on rubber boots. I'm scared of snakes and ants and whatever.
Yeah.
So we're down in a public parking lot. I stepped off the parking lot for just a second, and I was like, something is burning, hurting. My foot was covered in black ants.
Oh.
You don't even know.
That ain't good.
Are you kidding? Then, by the end of the night, it looked like a big fire engine red cankle. Just.
Ooh. Wow.
I mean, you couldn't even hardly shove it in a shoe. It was so big.
Yeah. My goodness.
Yeah. So that's what I was doing,
Yeah. So you had a little ant injury, it sounds like to me.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? I'm just gonna keep on going.
Now I will say I was mowing the lawn. I'm not gonna say cutting the grass. That's a very southern. Mowing the lawn. Mm-hmm. I don't want people to accuse me of being a southerner.
I was mowing the lawn, and then I used the hose pipe.
I was cutting the grass. I was cutting the grass and it had ants on me. But those little thingamajiggers hurt.
Oh, I mean, I wish you could have known they put a hurting on me to the point where the guy was like, dude, you need to go and get something. And I was like, no, I said, I think I'll just sue the trucking company.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I mean,
whoa, is that your foot or your ankle?
That's my foot.
Wow.
It was like I was pregnant again. It was swollen. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's.
So I showed you before we got on. I've made good progress on a website, haven't I?
You have. You got to show everybody. So if you don't know Jenny Winny, well, you explain it to them, Jenny.
Well, I have a store, a brick and mortar store. Since Daniel and I've been doing this, I've been getting out of my box, doing my little reels and stuff, and it's kind of spread. It's spread all across America.
That's good.
And so everybody's like, "Oh, your website, you got to have a website," and I'm like, I am trying. So I've really, because I'm also cheap, cheap, cheap a little bit, thrifty. I like to do things myself. But I'm making good headway. I mean, I've got things. Look at this. This looks professional, doesn't it?
Wow. That looks good. I know. I don't know if anybody can tell that, but I did look at it. It looks fantastic. And you just need something because I think you are getting some looks on the Instagram. So it's a way for them to order. So, hey, Jonathan, what's going on? I was just on Jonathan's podcast. He just started a podcast. Yeah. So it's Success in South Carolina. I have no idea why he would have an average dude on there, but I was there. And he's going to have a really good podcast and had a lot of fun with him yesterday. So make sure you check out Success in South Carolina is the name of that. Okay. And Joe, what's going on, Joe? Good to see you.
Yes.
And I guess, hey, we're not to the afternoon yet, but by the time of the end of this show, we will be. So I like that forward thinking. What else is going on, Jenny? We've got a new format today. We've got to kind of explain that. We're going to have two guests. And so we'll introduce one. We're going to interact. Then we're going to try to just, have a little format to it instead of just winging it.
I don't know. I think people, they kind of expect the average dude to wing it.
To wing it a little bit. Well, that keeps it fun. What else? Where did I take you off track, Jenny?
You probably did, but I mean,
sorry.
I mean, do you have anything exciting going on?
No, I've got a networking event tomorrow, ING event. And so we're going to do some activities. You know, I love the activities where you're getting involved with, everybody gets involved in their participation and everything's comfortable, you know, and everybody just feels like they can work on their skills that way. That's what my vision is for these types of events. And
kind of like, you know, when we were in school and the teacher would say, grab a partner, or I'm going to divide you into groups. And you're like, okay, it's so much more fun than someone just.
Yeah, standing up there and talking and trying, you know, nobody's got all the answers. And I think, yeah, the egg and the spoon activity, Bill Gruss knows about that one.
Yes.
And it, you know, that is one of the activities that I thought about doing on the speech, because I was talking about the 50-yard dash. And
I mean, you had it all together too. You had
your yeah, I've got the eggs and the spoons and ready for action. So so you never know. But yeah, tomorrow I've got some fun activities and going to try to create, what I want to do is create a situation where everybody feels comfortable and we can actually work on our communication and conversational skills without that pressure of.
And I think too, it's so important that it's something that everyone that's attending will understand and will relate to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now you did make that mark, because when you went to there was an activity. They were talking about a pipeline. You're not in traditional sales. So
pipeline. What are we talking about? I mean,
yeah. Now our two guests today. We've got two guests. Our first guest is backstage already. His name's Mr. Brad Norwood. He's been in sales for a long time, so he knows what a pipeline's all about. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and bring our guest on. Jenny, you ready? You think it's time?
Ready. Bring it on.
Let's go. There he is.
Hey.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Brad Norwood.
What's happening, guys? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, so typically Jenny will do a little research before, but I feel like we need to catch her up to speed on how Brad and I know each other, what Brad does, all that good stuff. So Brad and I, we actually met through LinkedIn. I've never met Brad in person, but I feel like I know Brad.
And it's coming. We're going to meet soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, you can't be too far off, because I recognize that accent somewhere.
We all talk alike, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
My people. Where are you from?
I'm from Springdale, Arkansas.
Okay.
So not too far away from Carolina. In fact, I have a younger sister that lives in Charleston. So
okay.
We're gonna make it happen when I get to Charleston and go visit her. She recently moved there, and when I go visit her, I'm gonna meet the average dude. I promise.
I'm looking forward to that. Now I want to show everybody something.
Wait, there you go. Oh,
y'all see that?
Oh yeah.
Never punt. Never punt. So never punt. I'm going to let Brad explain what that means. But first, let me say, so Brad, this is the kind of guy Brad is. So I've known Brad through LinkedIn, but I had a package in the mail and I had made a post about punting. You know, sometimes we need to punt. Brad disagreed with me. I'll let him explain his position. But he sent me that shirt and a nice letter to it. And I thought, I think that was just such a cool thing to do. It meant a lot to me. And I think that speaks to who you are, Brad, right?
Well, I appreciate it. It is. You know, you were talking about a pipeline and sales, and I'm a believer, just like Del Dupree and the Sales Rebellion, shameless plug for them, but I'm a believer in a living pipeline and a believer in relationships. And whenever you can connect with someone on an intimate level like that, you know, I'd give Daniel, and all people do, the average dude, come on, you're far above average, but we get it. We get the stick, right? So he did. He wrote one day about punting, and sometimes you have to punt. You have to change directions. Ironically, a very good friend of mine is a high school football coach, former high school football coach, that never punted. They were known for not punting football. In fact,
never punted, Jenny.
I never punted. Now, he would say, don't say never, because they did punt a few times, but it was very, very, very rare. I think in a 15-year high school career, I think he punted 4 times. And I officiated high school football for 17 years and had several of his games, won in a state championship. They were on their own 5-yard line, had 4th and 25 in a state championship game, and went for it. By the way, they got it, and they scored on the next play.
Thank goodness. I mean, that would have been so disappointing. I'm like,
dude, what play do you run on 4th and 25? Is that even in the playbook? 4th and 25?
They throw and go. It's an amazing, fun offense to watch. But again, they never punt.
Oh, that's
and
scary.
Coach Kelly would tell you, look, why would you ever give someone – you can only score with football. And so why would you ever, just because the sign says 4th down, why would you ever just give them the football? You've still got one more chance.
Mm-hmm.
So use it. And the analytics, and now if you watch football this season, it became a key word last season on TV. You'll hear all these guys talk about the analytics. Well, Kevin Kelly was the one who dug into that years ago and got into the analytics. And it's just stupid to punt the football when you've got one more chance. And he believes in it. His kids believed in it. He created a culture around it. And so never punt kind of became a bucket list thing, motto for me as well. Yeah, I loved having the opportunity to send you the shirt, Daniel.
Man, you need to this throw and go.
Throw and go. I tell you, though, that's an interesting thing, that idea of never punting. I mean, the only way that I saw that play out, I did watch your podcast episode where you interviewed Coach Kelly. Is it Coach Kelly?
Yeah, Coach Kelly.
Yeah, and that was great because I was just interested in that because I had a friend of mine that when we would play video games, we'd play Madden football, and he wouldn't punt. He would use that. I mean, if we can average 3, not to get into the too depth of the sports, but if you can average 3 yards, run off tackle, get 3 yards, 4 downs, that's 12 yards, if my math is correct.
That's right.
So. It's an interesting approach, but very aggressive and like you say, makes it different. Do you think that's a good idea to, if you've got something that's different that makes you stand out like that? That takes some courage to be that way, doesn't it?
It does take courage, but you've got, and that's what set Coach Kelly apart is he believed in it. Not only did he have the courage, it wasn't just a hey, let's try this. It was a belief that we're going to do this. And the culture he created, businessman or not, he's with 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old kids coming into high school through their senior year, 18 years old, that don't ever listen to anything mom and dad say at home, right?
Yeah.
But and a coach that's on me, no, they bought into it and they believed it, and it became the culture at Pulaski Academy in Little Rock. Look it up. I mean, if you're seeing this or hearing about him for the first time, it's a great story. In fact, he coached college football last year. It didn't work out for him right now, but it didn't work out because the kids didn't believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
At the college level, they didn't buy into it. And so the locker room kind of divided on him. But it takes belief. It's not just a one-time thing. Hey, let's try and see if it works. If you're going to do it, you got to believe in it. When you believe in it, you can will yourself to it.
Yeah.
Courage. What about the fans and like the parents? Were they like, "Oh, he's stupid. Why is he doing this?" We could,
they bought into it too. They believe in it too. It becomes the culture, and it's a fun game of football to watch. It's entertaining to watch. Even going for the first time as with no interest in the game whatsoever, and you go and you go, "Is this guy really not going to punt?"
Yeah.
He shows you the belief. No, we're not going to. We're going to score. We're going to make things happen. And it's exciting football to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And there's Maria. We haven't seen Maria in a long time. We wonder where these people go, Brad. They visit us and then they leave. But there's Maria. Good morning. It has been a while. Good to see you. And then, of course, Joe says Brad is a great source in the industry. And I want to talk a little bit about what it is that you do, Brad, and Jenny doesn't know that, and I think it's an interesting deal. You mentioned bucket list living, and I'd like for you to talk a little bit about that.
Well, I appreciate it. And, the no punt mentality is what we do. We help teams create what we call the culture of achievement. Mm-hmm. It's a belief in one another. It's that intimate personal connection that you have with everybody on the team, that your business isn't just about hitting quota, that it's about investing in your people personally. Mm-hmm. To see a post and go, you know what, I think I need to punt, but going into Daniel and saying, Daniel, let's don't punt. Why do you feel like you need to punt? And getting really able to know that person intrinsically gives the intrinsic value beyond belief. It's so hard to monetize what I do because, again, it involves belief. When you truly believe and invest in your people, they'll do 3 to 4 times more the work than you ever thought possible.
That's so
because
true.
You cherish and believe in them. And so in a nutshell, that's what we do. Now, how do we do that? We do that through bucket list experiences. You hear of President's Club type trips where top achievers win trips to Cabo or the Bahamas or the Grand Cayman. We're taking a trip next week, in fact, to Banff, Canada, and we do President's Club trips. But we also help people find what's really on their bucket list. Who's a hero like Daniel Allison, the average dude that you want to meet? And how can you put that plan into action, right? Yeah. What is it? Doesn't have to be an extravagant trip. I've had companies that a young man was late to work all the time. And finally, the owner went to him after some of our coaching, said, why is it that excuse after excuse? And he said, I'm just going to tell you, I don't have reliable transportation. I would like a reliable car. And so the owner of the company sat down with him and said, if you'll do this and follow this path, we'll meet you halfway and get you some transportation. It's the best Christmas party I've ever attended in my life when they gave the young man a brand new truck.
Because he met his
goal. Oh, that's a good story.
It is. Yeah. It's a great story. That's an owner that took the time to find out what it was on a young man's bucket list. And he poured into him and said, look, I can help you with this. I have to talk to you first. You've got to talk to me, but I can help you do this. And so the young man worked a plan. He grew the business. He got a truck at Christmas. It was amazing.
I love that, man. That's what you do right there, Brad. You know,
it is. And we love to help those wins. We love to see those types of wins and know that we're just a small part of it. All because we show the ownership, we show the leadership how to genuinely care and how to recognize and reward those participants.
Well, you hit on the 3 things that I think we've just hit on in these first few minutes: relationships, human beings, and team. Right? I mean, those are the 3 words that if we can get all of those, and then incentives, and that's part of the human side of it. But I love it. It reminds me of football. We're kind of on the football theme, but you know when they award the scholarship, you know, and this kid's walk on, and he's worked his tail off, and all of the other guys, you know, celebrating that. I love that.
And you know what, too? It's like everybody. I don't know. There's so many like bosses, employers, or whatever. It's like, hey, write him up. He's late. Write him up. He's late. Write him up. And you know, it's like. But taking that, now that kid will be completely loyal and devoted.
Right.
I mean, to this. Yeah.
You know, and again, I didn't mean to drag us along a football theme, but I think on the football field, and of course in today's game, it's faster paced, and a lot more teams aren't huddling as much. But think how important a huddle is for your team. To huddle up weekly. And like you said, Daniel, how often – a lot of times we let money get in the way of things. We make it so private. But that scholarship player on your team that gets a promotion or gets a raise, why don't you huddle up the entire team and announce that? Right? And we have the wrong perception of, oh, that's private and we don't want to do that. We don't want to say how much they're making. We might offend somebody else. No. Wrong answer. Huddle up and celebrate that person. If something's going great at work, something's going great at home, think about the power that's within that.
Absolutely.
The Dallas Mavericks, I think, won the NBA title in 2011. Maybe it was 12. There's a study on this, but somebody did a study in the NBA that year. It was the last year that the Mavericks won the NBA championship. They were the team in the NBA that gave more high fives than any other team.
Oh, wow.
Think about the power of that. So when you celebrate together, you win together. And it's just that simple. It's walking down the hall or meeting somebody for coffee and giving the high five. You're doing awesome. Thanks for doing this. That encouragement, that recognition breeds reward and productivity. And that's what we help companies do.
I love that. I want to, Jenny, did you have something?
No. I pulled this up also, but Jonathan.
Yeah, I wanted to get Brad's thoughts on this. Jonathan has a question. How does never punt play out in sales and in real life? So let's back up to that idea. And do you have any thoughts on that, Brad?
Absolutely. So let's go to the old way of thinking. Okay, never punt. Make that one more phone call. Right. Keep going after them. That's the old way. The never punt in those sales ways is maybe it is one more phone call, but again, what's that connection? What's the connection I'm missing with this prospect that would be better than the one more phone call? Mm-hmm. Daniel needs a T-shirt. Mm-hmm. Somebody loves the St. Louis Cardinals and they need this baseball or a hat or they love Starbucks coffee. It's simple, right? I'm going to send you this Starbucks card because you didn't know it, but I saw you 2 people ahead of me at Starbucks last week. I know you liked it. Hey, I saw your kids are celebrating their baseball championship this weekend, and I sent you this ring for being a championship parent.
Oh, wow.
That's that one more step. That's the never punt mentality instead of the one more phone call, right? It goes the same way in life. Same thing in your personal life. Take sales out of it. And just live your life on purpose. Mm-hmm. The sales will happen. If you genuinely care about who you're interacting with, they're going to respect and reward you back. And so when you do that, that's the never punt in life as well. Don't ever give up. Jimmy Valvano has probably the greatest speech of all time.
Absolutely.
Give up. Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
And that's a powerful one, isn't it? That speech. Oh. Do you remember that one, Jenny? Yeah, Jimmy Valvano. He gave a great speech, but he was terminally ill with cancer when he gave the speech. Mm. But it's definitely a moving speech.
I mean, Brad, you should be doing little do you do speeches and stuff?
I do. Not on as big a stage as I want to yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. In fact, it's on my bucket list. I want to speak to 10,000 people. I would love to speak to a crowd of 10,000 or more. That's on my bucket list.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you'd be great at it.
Now you're doing something that you enjoy, and I love it when people kind of incorporate things that they enjoy. You're a sports guy, like you alluded to. You've officiated sports. You've been around sports. I know you play golf. Your son plays golf. And you're doing something. I know one of the things that you do is take people down to the Masters as far as the incentive packages go. So talk a little bit about how you've kind of incorporated and how it came to be that you're doing what you're doing. Seems like it's perfect for you.
It is. And literally the name of my company is called Dream It Professional Events. And Dream It is highlighted, Dream with IT. And people ask me, a lot of people that don't know me think I'm an IT company.
Yeah.
and that's fine. They said, well, what does the IT stand for? And I said, that's exactly how I designed the company, so that you would ask that question. Because really, the IT stands for incentive travel. But I tell people, but I want it to stand whatever you want it to stand for. Because this was a dream of mine. Mm-hmm. That you can do it and I can help you do it. Because if you can dream it, I can help you design it. And that's where the whole philosophy and the branding came from it. And so literally you hear people, we say this all the time. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine, but I've got a great line answer back to you. People say, oh, hey, how you doing? And I always ask people, are you asking or do you genuinely care?
Exactly.
Right. And so you'll hear people, oh, hey, how you doing this? Oh, I'm living the dream. And I said, well, I tell you what, I'm selling it if you ever run out of it. but I am. I'm living my own dream. I have the spiritual gift of hospitality, and I love to help people. I love to get to know them on a personal level. I love to host them, whether it's at my own home or wherever we, meet people where they are. I love to be the host and to let them experience and truly enjoy themselves. And for me to see them, just like John that got the car at Christmas time, right? Mm-hmm. That's one of my most prideful moments ever.
I'm sure.
It's just that I had a little piece of it, but I'm so proud of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the owner to take the steps and the appreciation, the recognition to pour him down that path, and then for John to work the plan, right? And so to do that, I'm going to have 57 people in Banff, Canada next week that are the top performers in their company. And just to be able to put not only the trip together for them, but to be able to meet them face to face, interact with those that I already know that have been on previous trips, see them live out the dream. That I'm living the dream. I'm very blessed and fortunate to be able to do what I do.
I'm gonna grab my little sign because I got a question.
Go for it, Jenny.
Come on, Jenny.
Yeah, I'll send you one of these, Brad, if you'd like one. But so like companies hire you to put this together, like you become the incentive provider, like you put together the package and everything, or
that's right. Right. So with no offense intended whatsoever to the administrative assistant or the marketing team, there's companies that do this and they allocate Jenny, Winny, and the average dude to go put these trips together. And while you love to travel and you know a little bit about hotels and a destination, you're really not a travel coordinator, right? And so it takes 720 of my man hours to plan an average, if you will, Daniel, President's Club. Now, imagine that 720 hours being dispersed amongst your administrative assistant, a marketing director, when they're trying to do other things for your company. What happens is I'm 8 days away. No, I'm 6 days away from being in Banff, Canada next week. If I'm the administrative assistant, all of a sudden everybody's coming to me and go, hey, what's the name of that hotel again we're staying in? And what are we doing on Saturday? And what about Sunday? And what do we need to do for dinner? And what are we wearing? No. All of a sudden they start dragging other people in because they're overwhelmed with whatever they're doing in their day-to-day job.
To do. Yeah.
That's right. So we come in as an outside agency, if you will, and we handle all of that, the logistics of everything. We design a website for you, for your company, that is just about the trip. It's branded around this President's Club trip or a trip to the Masters or whatever ball game or concert, whatever you dream up, wherever we're going, we brand it around your company in that trip because we want that reward to be the top thing in their mind. This is what I'm working for.
Yeah.
I earn this. My significant other gets to go with me. And I always tell people, mama loves to go to the beach, right?
Yeah.
And so we brand it around the company. Yeah. We brand it around the company. We handle booking every plane ticket, every hotel room. We concierge every activity that takes place while we're at the destination. We arrange all of the dinners, audio and video if you're going to have a meeting and presentation while you're there. We even work with the company that does the Heisman Trophy. They make the Heisman Trophy, and they make our crystals or our rings or whatever plaques and things that we're giving out. We use them to give those awards as well.
So you do the actual award. I didn't realize that, Brad. So you go down to the hardware that they give out at these events.
Absolutely. The swag bags that companies give out with it, the actual awards, if they're doing awards, we help concierge everything from the minute you walk out the door to leave on that vacation until the minute you get back. And literally, we will, as the coordinator, we say, hey, Daniel has departed and is on his way home. We flight track. We have a flight tracking team. We flight track, make sure you get to where you need to be. And at the end, hey, here's your final report. Everybody's home safe and sound. Let's do it again.
Good. Awesome. That is like a dream job.
Right?
Yes. I would just like to know what made you start doing that, because that's just too cool.
It started with my passion for golf. I used to only do this for golf trips. And my third year going to the Masters, the light came on for me. Again, personalization and connection. Mm-hmm. I realized that of the 50 people I had in Augusta, I only knew 8 of them. And it was driving me insane because I was missing the connection of 42 people. Yeah. And I could not figure it out. And when the trip was over and I had time to relax and look back over the trip, I realized, okay, wait a minute. I had 8 companies that just bought 50 tickets to this event. Well, why did they do this? Who were they bringing? Oh, wait a minute. They're bringing their top performers. They're bringing their customers.
Yes.
They use this as an incentive. Yep. And so I started studying how incentives work and looked into it. A month later, we rebranded and got into the incentive travel world.
I think that is fun.
I love it.
It's so fun.
And the IT.
That's right.
Hey, Brad, now here's my goal. What can people do to get in touch with you? How can we help you and drive business your way? What can we do?
Man, I love that. I appreciate you asking that. You can find me on LinkedIn. I am in the midst of a 1 week long break from LinkedIn. I haven't posted in a week. Just taking a little break there. I'm focusing more on my engagement than I am my posting. But you can find me on LinkedIn, LinkedIn Brad Norwood. And then on other social media, a little bit of Instagram, a little bit of Facebook. It's at Dream It Pro, DreamItPro. You can go to dreamitpro.com is my website. And that phone number posted across the top, 479-466-6907, comes to this cell phone right here. You get me every time. And I tell people when I can't answer, you're more than welcome to send a text message, but the minute I can answer, I will absolutely get back to you.
So it's Dream It Pro?
DreamItPro.com.
Okay.
DreamItPro.com. If you've got a sales team and you're looking to get these guys motivated, have a conversation with Brad and let him talk about some of the success stories that incentive packaging has done. We've heard a couple of them, but I know he's got a lot of them. Brad, I appreciate you coming on, Jenny, Winny, and the Average Dude, my friend.
Hey, Jenny and Danny, thank you so much. And I want to say this too, just to close out, Danny, because a lot of people have the perception of when they see our website and they hear about these trips that we do, they immediately think, I can't afford it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be right. And just like your bucket list, it doesn't have to be about extravagant travel. Okay. We can start with a simple high five. And we can coach you through that process and help you understand how the psychology of incentives really work. But if you're thinking, we don't have the budget for that, an effective incentive program creates a budget. Mm-hmm. I've helped numerous teams start at zero and grow. And so don't let budget get in your way. Don't punt on that one, right? Give me a call. And Jenny and Daniel, again, thank you so much for having me on. This has been awesome. I'll stay in touch and look forward to your next guest coming up.
That sounds great. Thanks, Brad.
All right. Y'all have a good day. God bless you.
See you, brother. Well, that was fun. One guest down, and now we're going to move into the second guest. What do you think of how a little break, and then we're supposed to say something?
I didn't feel like I need to say that I'm doing something wrong.
What's that?
I need to get out there. And I mean, that is amazing. Every time we hear somebody and I'm like, how in the world did they come up and just do this? And it's like, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and I think too, he probably goes on these trips. He forms relationships with these guys. Like he says, he's, guys and girls and all these people he's been on the phone with. And then I'm assuming that he goes and gets to,
Yeah, but it's like,
he's hosting.
I was like, oh, that'd be too expensive. But you know what? Like he was saying, no, I bet it starts off. You can do something small. You could just say, hey, I want to take my top people and we're just going to go to the beach for the weekend, you know?
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's just.
Well, if the incentive is good enough and everybody increases their sales numbers, well, then good things are going to happen. So. Well, that was good. So we had one guest, Brad. I introduced you to him. Now I'm going to introduce you to another friend of mine. Jenny, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Here he comes, Mr. Fred Blanton.
What's happening?
What's up, dude?
Jenny, you have the money to go on trips.
I wish.
No, too tight.
Hey, Fred, what do you think about incentives? You've been in sales for a long time. How do you? Oh, I like this. Now, Brad made a comment, and I want to get Fred's thoughts. He says, the money will return, the experience never will.
That's so make more money.
Yeah.
And that's true even like in life, because sometimes I'm like, oh no, I don't want to do that. It's going to cost too much money to take everybody and da. But then it's an experience and you created a memory, so.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do y'all ever do any incentive packages and things like that at Bobcat? We're going to tell everybody what you do, but.
Yeah, we have in the past, and I love an incentive trip. There's nothing that gets salespeople fired up more than a little fourth quarter incentive trip. You dangle the Bahamas out there a little bit.
Yeah, I love it.
Sales come flying in.
Now, interestingly, both you and Brad are in sales, Fred. And Fred is from Spartanburg. For folks that don't know, he's a good friend of mine, known Freddie for a long time. We're in the workout group together. But I do want to get your thoughts on whatever it was that I just asked. I missed my question now. What did I just ask you?
I have no idea what you just asked him.
Yeah, I know.
This is that part, isn't it?
Do what?
This is where you start winging it.
This is where I wing it.
He completely lost himself. He's like, and yeah.
No, what's so cool? See, Fred came in at the last minute. Freddie didn't know he was going to be on. We had a guest that canceled. I said Skid, and I will say this about Skid, and that's his nickname.
Yes, yeah, I want to know about that, but I wasn't gonna bring it up, Freddie, because I don't know what it means. But I was like,
explain it. Let me explain.
What is Skid?
Yeah, hey Skid, go ahead and explain where Skid comes from.
Okay. So Daniel and I are part of a workout group, F3.
Yeah.
And at the end of the workout, if you're a new guy, you have to explain a little bit about yourself, what you do, what you like, maybe what you don't like. When they heard that I sold skid steers, Bobcat equipment, somebody popped off skid mark.
Well, see, you could see that I had envisioned a different reason. Okay.
It has nothing to do with my underwear.
Okay. And you know what? Ironically, Freddie, my husband and I, we just bought a skid steer.
Did you?
Yeah. We really did.
What guy did you buy?
I don't know.
Don't say it. Don't say it out loud.
I'm not going to, because it's probably not as good as what you sell. But we bought it because we're building a pool. We're digging and doing all that kind of stuff. So that's funny. When you said skid steer, I was like,
yeah.
So you're digging your own pool.
Yeah.
That's a challenge.
I know Skid. I know, but I'm just like that. I'm like, you're doing a good job, hon. You just keep on out there. So we'll see.
Let him know there could be an incentive trip if he does it right.
There you go.
Freddie, you have already just,
Well, Freddie's married. He knows how those incentives work.
That's right.
Yeah.
Did we have
what I wanted to mention? Go ahead.
Was there a first on here earlier? Did we see a pregnant woman's foot?
Oh, yeah. Was that not awful? That was a casualty of a pull.
That looked rough.
Yeah. You should have been. I was like, and I'm trying to save face because there's the truck driver, and I'm like, oh. And then by the end of the night, and I had to go somewhere with about 200 people in the room, and I chose to wear cute shoes, so it drew attention. They're like, "Your shoes are cute," and I'm like, "Look at that cankle! Look at the cankle!" Yeah, it was painful.
The cankle, yeah.
But at least your shoes look good.
Yeah, but it did. Yeah, it did. It accentuated. Yeah.
So what I want to talk about, if y'all don't mind me interrupting y'all's little conversation.
Sorry about that, Dan.
You remember we are doing a broadcast here. We got to let the people know.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I will say, with Conversations with the Average Dude, my podcast, more of a traditional podcast. I had one guest that had more views than anybody else's. Any idea who that might have been, Jenny?
Freddie Blanton.
Man, she didn't say that with much confidence, did she? No, but yeah, Skid.
Grandma.
So I had Freddie Blanton come on, and if you don't know Freddie, he does LinkedIn videos, and he does videos about bobcats. And you would think, well, what can you say about bobcats that would be entertaining?
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
I do remember you now, Freddie, because you put a spin on it that makes it interesting and makes you want to look.
I try.
Yes. And so that is the thing that a lot of people, they want to produce content, but then they say, but my industry is not very exciting. And so what Freddie, I think it's interesting, and the reason that so many people watched that particular episode of Conversations with the Average Dude was that they saw Skid performing and doing his videos. What is it that you think resonates with people, and how can they make whatever industry they're in more entertaining for content purposes?
Interesting, because I mean, honestly, if you said Bobcats, it's kind of like, okay,
Right.
Yeah, they move dirt.
Yeah.
So I think one reason the videos are short, I try to keep everything a minute or under.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do try to use humor. Everybody wants to laugh.
They do.
And then most people are eager to learn something new. So if you can mix it all together, even if it's about a piece of compact equipment, if it's funny, it's short, you learn something, I think it just sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your energy and your personality come out in the videos too. And I, in a very short period of time, we can let folks know who we are. But did it take you a while to get to that level of being comfortable?
I want to know. Did it?
Not really. Like once you go on camera, you start doing the video, you just want to knock it out. So I try to do it as fast as I can with my personality.
Yeah.
Done with it.
Do you check it, edit it, retake, or is it one time done?
2 times max.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, that's honest.
Typically 1.
Yeah. Now, do you ever bounce it off anybody? You say, hey, is this video all right? Or do you just go with your gut?
Just go on my gut.
But
sometimes the gut is bad. Most of the time it's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But thinking about second guessing, that kind of segues me into the other thing that I want to let folks know. You do a lot of officiating of basketball, similar to Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've told you this before. Hello, Melissa. I didn't say hello.
I had to go out and say hello to Melissa real quick because she said,
yeah. If you're still out there, hello.
We had comments scrolling through. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Winging it is the average dude specialty. That's what Jonathan said. If he was at my queue this morning, he would have agreed with that, wouldn't he? But yeah, back to what we were talking about. What's your thoughts on that?
Being confident as an official.
Yes. Yeah. There you go. Sorry. Let me go back. And so you officiate basketball, and I just, that makes me so nervous to think about blowing the whistle, getting everybody's attention, and then saying, I'm gonna piss off half of y'all with this call. To me, that is the most intense thing. So tell me, how do you do that?
And even though the rules are written, it should be easy every time you blow the whistle. Somebody broke a rule, but it's your judgment. And like you said, half the arena gets mad at you. Yeah. Typically a coach, a player, and they do it the entire game.
Yeah.
Do you ever, though, like, I always wondered this. Do you ever realize, okay, I made a mistake and change it?
A mistake? by an official? Have you ever seen an official make a mistake? Yes, I do make mistakes. I do have to admit it to the coach sometimes or the player. I have no problem doing that. I'm human just like they are. I promise I'll mess up.
Yeah. And what sort of situation? I don't know. I've just always been fascinated by that because that is one job that I know. I don't want to dance and I don't want to be an official. but have you ever? I guess what is a tough call where there's a little bit? I know it's important to blow that whistle and then you got to make no hesitation. What sort of call may you get wrong, or what might be the reason that you get a call wrong?
Typically, you may see someone driving to the basket. A defender slides over late to take a block. Is it a charge? Was he set? Did the offensive player push off in any way? It's usually those bang bang plays.
Yeah.
You have to make a decision quick and stick with it.
So
that's the one that you may see me blow a whistle, be loud with my call, have a little bit more enthusiasm with my reporting. Yeah. Maybe sell it a little bit.
Gotcha. Yeah. Because it becomes almost more definitive if you get kind of like, you call it, and man, that gets the heart rate up. Now, does your adrenaline get up before the game starts?
It does. And then once, a lot of times the crowd gets into it, coaches are yelling, the play's good. it's a good atmosphere, and you will get pumped up.
Yeah, and depending, I guess, the energy from the players, the energy from the crowd, it's like osmosis. It kind of goes to everybody, doesn't it?
It builds up. Everybody can feel it.
Oh wow, that's cool.
What skills do you think are important to make a good official?
You do have to be confident, and you do have to take the time to know the rules. But really, one of the biggest things is communication. Because if you have to talk to a coach, explain something to him, if you can do it in a way that's professional, it's related to the game, you use game terminology, he understands that you were in the right position, it's a judgment call. Communication is huge.
Absolutely. And so do you think that becoming an official helped you in your sales career? So of course you sell compact equipment. Do you think that maybe when you took on officiating, did your confidence go up? Did you learn some things that transitioned over into the sales world?
Yes, I have. I've probably had, 1,500 people boo me out of a gym is what I thought was going to happen because I made a call that they didn't like. Boo! So if the gatekeeper or somebody boos me out of an office, it's nothing like being booed by 1,000 people.
That's right. Yeah,
I'm sure that has to give you confidence to do sales. I mean, to me, that would build your confidence immensely.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Well, the problem it would be for me is that my people pleasing would come out. You don't want to see people upset. Well, you blow the whistle, somebody's.
I know. I couldn't do it. That's me. I'd be like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not supposed to touch him. Okay.
I had to call something.
Yeah, I had to.
Now, another thing that I think I wanted to talk about, so we've got this networking event tomorrow, Industrial Network Group, and I love it when Skid's able to attend because of the energy, right? I mean, you put energy into anything and it's a better time, isn't it? Do you, I mean, I know we've done a lot of these events together and that sort of thing. Do you enjoy networking events where there's activities and that sort of thing?
I do. I like feeding off everybody else. I like to get everybody involved, everybody talk a little bit.
Yes.
Everybody, whether it's create a story or, sometimes we've done some crazy things at some of those meetings.
Yeah.
But it's a good time. You get to know everybody. And I think it's worth being there. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think to kind of complete that thought a little more, or talk a little more about it, it's what we do as salespeople is get uncomfortable, like you blowing the whistle, walking in, and so anytime that I'm feeling, if it's starting this live or I can't think of my question, whatever it is, it's this kind of social anxiety of, am I good enough? Is this okay? Am I safe? But getting used to being uncomfortable, I mean, that's a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah. And it, in the officiating world, it probably took 3 years to get used to comments, people yelling at you from the stands. And then I also think it takes about 3 years for a new salesperson to get their feet wet, get some repeat business, get to know people in their area. Mm-hmm. It's very similar. And then as far as the networking group, you'll see the ones that last the longest. Those people have been around for about 3 years and then they start growing.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Get over that hump. And speaking of that, I know that another one of our friends, Soul Glow, we'll just call him Soul.
Yeah.
Now it's all in fun, Jenny. But now
go ahead.
He started. He's about you're probably 20 years older than.
Yeah.
So you
23.
So you've got this young buck coming in and you're showing him the ropes. Do you think that's helped improve? What are your thoughts on kind of helping someone like that that's getting into sales and you've been at Bobcat for years, so you know the ropes. What do you think about teaching the ropes?
I like it. I'm just mean to him. Nobody's ever been mean to him, so I have to be mean to him.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I do try to help him out and encourage him to be out in his area. Yeah. Don't be scared to stop on job sites or talk to people. Talk to as many people as you can. Start making the list and just build on it.
Yeah, just have you and I have talked about that before. Just having conversations with people, and then you hope that they remember you when like Jenny, they're building a pool and they need a skid steer.
Yeah,
I know.
You know,
I'd only known.
Well, I know another thing that I thought that you're really skilled at, Skid, is conducting the queue. So one of the things that we do, I did it this morning. So when I say conducting the queue, we have this fitness group, and one person will lead the group, Jenny. So you've got a group of 13, 14, 15, as many as 20 plus, and somebody's got to take them around downtown. You got to decide what to do. You got to play the music. But of any of the things that I do, that makes me.
I don't let women do it.
Well, it's an F3 rule.
It's men only.
It's men only. Now we've had a female show up before,
and she's like, "What?"
but
Ooh.
it was something like that.
Yeah. But I think that there's different, I guess where I was going with that, there's different environments where, maybe we have a little more confidence than others. But that for me is like I get more nervous doing that than I do anything. It's just something about, maybe it's because I didn't play sports, I wasn't part of the team growing up, whatever it was. But Fred, you do a great job of that. Does that come from maybe coaching basketball? Where does that come from?
The first time I did it, I was scared to death at F3. Even though you're friends with all the guys, you don't want to let them down.
That's right. Yeah.
And I think I was just determined to get through it and lead in a way that I wanted to lead, loud, confident, like you try to do everything else. And then eventually that's just what everybody's used to, so you can show up and do it.
Yeah,
that's right. And you've set that precedent, and I love it because you're loud, you're confident, and I am just like, guys, if you don't mind, if you would follow me, and we're going to do some push-up, but Fred does it, and it's more, it's more commanding, I guess. So
I can relate to this because, I used to be a trainer, and I used to teach. The first time I did it, I wanted to die because I thought they're looking at me. And then I was thinking, I can't make them do something that I can't do, that I can't doing, So, and then I also wanted them to get their heart rate, and so it's like, I was so sick feeling, but then after a few weeks, it's just like old hat, what they're looking to you, and you get the feel of it. So
yeah,
I get it.
I think there's just so much time. I usually let too much time go in between because it does make me so nervous,
Yeah.
And I think that letting that time go by, it builds up the fear a little bit more. You think that might be accurate, Fred?
Oh yeah, get in your head a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, like you say, there's so many things to think about because these people have expectations. They've got up early in the morning. You don't want to let them down. You want to make sure that you give them enough, but not too much. So, and you want to keep it fun. But it's funny, isn't it, how you can be friends with people and still feel uncomfortable?
I know.
A little nervous.
Yeah. I mean, when all eyes kind of go on you and you're the center of attention, sometimes that can be tough.
Yeah.
So,
and believe it or not, when you get 14, 15 guys together, they will complain about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Exercising too hard, sweating too much, the music's terrible. It's like a bunch of 9-year-olds sometimes.
Yeah. Who do you think's the worst complainer, Fred?
Stan Parker. But he is 60 and he still shows up. So
woo! 60 years old. So now we had Peach on the show, and I don't know if you got to see that, but Peach is great. Peach is 59, Stan is 60.
Yeah.
And out there, I'm telling you, I mean, these guys are still going hard, having fun. And I don't know.
Peach used to work out back in the day with me at the same gym.
Yes.
So I knew he looked familiar. I was like, man, you look familiar. And he was like, he's Peachoid or whatever. And
yeah.
What is Daniel's nickname?
Freon.
Freon.
Did you see that? Freon. He's no Freon. But see that? See how she does me?
Yeah.
What's happening is her real feelings about her cousin are coming out. Now she's getting comfortable. See?
Yeah.
So,
we went from Dan the Man to Freon.
I know. Thank you.
No, I like it, Daniel. It's like powerful.
Yeah.
It's very cooling.
That's right. That is right. Yeah, I'll have to say Jesse gave me that nickname, and it worked out a little better than maybe it could have been like Skid Mark or something like that.
Is everybody's nickname based on what they do for a living?
Somewhat.
Yeah, not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Yeah.
We mentioned Soul Glow earlier. He got his nickname because he had a fascinating mullet that reminded us of a movie.
Yeah. Soul Glow.
A curly mullet.
Oh man, mullet. All right.
Hey, but I tell you, if anybody can wear a mullet, it's him. I mean, exactly. he owned that mullet, man. So
mullet man. See, that's what I call him.
Well, hey, Skid, I appreciate you. It was a last minute deal, but I know that Freddie, he does the videos. He's courageous. He makes the call. He blows the whistle. He leads the group. He's the man.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Yeah. Hey, man, appreciate you.
I've heard Daniel say Skid Mark, and I'm like, I don't want to ask him why he's called that because that could be embarrassing. But now I know.
Now you know.
Now I know.
Yeah. It refers to equipment.
Equipment. Sure.
Yeah. So, hey, man, you have a good one. We'll talk to you soon, Skid.
All right. Thank you so much.
Man, have a good one. Bye. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? I mean, as we move forward, having two guests breaks it up a little. Do you like that?
I do. I mean, I think that we're not always going to be able to have two guests, but I like it. I do like it though. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that it breaks it up and then we'll kind of work on that. So that was a lot of fun though. I enjoyed it.
We pushed ourselves a little bit more out of the comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly. Just trying new things. And now we've got some other, I haven't told you about one, but we may be getting back out and about again here very soon. So we'll see how that plays out. We do have a guest for next week, and that's going to be good. So, Jenny, Winny, I appreciate you having fun as always. And what are we going to say? We got to close it out somehow.
We're going to say, free on, let's roll.
Free on, let's roll. See you, everybody. Have a good one.